It was a conversation that happened at my daughter's school with another kid who said something derogatory towards her hair and her skin color. And I know as a parent and as a black man how difficult that can be and the ramifications that can have on a child that can go throughout their adulthood. And I wanted to do something where I not only taught the other kid and my daughter a lesson and their family a lesson to educate them on things of hair texture, hairstyle, and skin color, but also to have something positive that everybody can grasp as a human being and take from there and make it a positive.
A conversation with Matt Forte, coming up next on Hip Homeschool's Conversations.
Good afternoon, guys. It's Trish with Hip Homeschool Moms, and I am super excited to be here today doing an interview with two new people. First, I'm going to introduce my alter ego because she's over here as Trish, and her real name is Jennifer Stelzer. So Jennifer is an in real life friend. Her family and my family have literally grown up together for the last, 10 years now?
It's been, yes, at least 10 years.
So I'm excited to have Jennifer here. Jennifer actually reviewed the book that we're going to be talking about today. And so that brings me to Matt. Hey, Matt. Matt is Matt Forte, and he is the author of My Hair Can, which is an absolutely adorable book. So we're excited, Matt. Welcome to the conversation.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here, an honor and a pleasure to, speak with you guys about the book and to hear a little bit more and learn more about hip homeschool moms as well.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so Jennifer is a homeschool mom. So Jennifer, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about you.
Okay, my name is Jennifer Smeltzer, and as Trish said, we have been friends, and it's amazingly enough, we realized that we live not too far away from each other. So we met through Hip Homeschool Moms, and I've been homeschooling my kids. I have 3 children, 2 have graduated from high school, and my third is a junior in high school, and we're still homeschooling. So I do also write for Homeschool Roster, which is a website that I manage, and I just enjoy getting an opportunity. I had a great time enjoying reading your book. And I appreciate you taking the time to write that because I have a daughter too. And also the sons who it looks like I love how you address, only you focus on, looks like the girls, but you also do address little boys too. And I like how it's a kind of a collective experience for anyone to read the book.
Absolutely. I wanted to incorporate the guys in there as well as the girls, because when it comes to a lot of the children's books and when they talk about hair, especially African American community, they often focus on the females or the girls, but I wanted to incorporate the boys too. There's a lot of guys who have locks in their hair, or they have an afro style, or they have curly hair, and I want young people to look at the way God has created them and enjoy that and to love what they see back in the mirror. Because if they don't, then you won't value other people in the way that they are uniquely made by God as well. So that was kind of the premise of why I wanted the book to be designed and illustrated the way that it was by Miss Sophia Green, who did a great job with the illustration.
She truly did. She did.
Matt, can I jump in real quick and get Matt to introduce himself? Because Matt, you have such a diverse background. You are such an interesting author. So can you tell us about your history and where you came from and maybe how you got here? How did you end up writing children's books?
Yeah, of course. As you can see in the background, I have a Tulane jersey and a helmet back here with other Hall of Fame, jerseys of football guys in the background. So I have a football background. I used to play for the Chicago Bears for 8 years. I was drafted by them in 2008, and then I played 2 extra years at the end with the New York Jets. So I had 10 years in the NFL as a running back. Some of the people who don't know football or don't know sports, just go to YouTube, type in Matt Forte, and it'll show you everything you need to know about me. Because I don't brag, I don't pat myself on the back or beat my chest. I'm not one of those guys, but the work will speak for itself. I just say that. And so how I became the author of a book was interesting. As great of an accomplishment as it is and a blessing as it is, it didn't start out in the greatest way. It was a conversation that happened at my daughter's school with another kid who said something derogatory towards her hair and her skin color. And I know as a parent and as a Black man, how difficult that can be and the ramifications that can have on a child that can go throughout their adulthood. And I wanted to do something where I not only taught the other kid and my daughter a lesson and their family a lesson, to educate them on things of hair texture, hairstyle, and skin color, but also to have something positive that everybody can grasp as a human being and take from there and make it a positive. And so that's how I basically became an author, was I wanted to take something negative and try to make something positive out of it. And the way that has happened was to write a children's book that embraces everyone's differences and how they're uniquely made. And for them to not only embrace that, but to love, like I said earlier, when they look in the mirror, I want them to love what they see. And when you can do that and you embrace your differences, when you come into contact with someone who is different than you will be able to embrace their differences and be able to love them, show them love and friendship and kindness, and be able to coexist together in a beautiful way.
It's beautiful. Jennifer and I were talking before the conversation, before we got on with you, about what the inspiration was. And we were curious if that was where it started, was in a situation where your daughter was being bullied or something like that. There's a picture in the back. Is that your daughter?
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's adorable. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna show you the picture, y'all. She's so cute.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful picture.
That's me and Nala right there.
I like how you turned a situation that could have been taken a totally different direction, and that you also not only are educating other people, but first of all, you educated your daughter. You gave her an opportunity to see more value in herself. And I like how, you could have stopped there, but I really like the fact that you took the time to write a book to not only, as you said, educate the young man, and then also other people. And what is your hope? Looks like you won an award already. So what is your hope for this book? And then also, I don't know whether or not this is the beginning of a possible series of books that you would be writing.
Yeah, my hope for the book is, first, what I stated earlier, is for young people and also the people who may be buying the book or reading the book to the kids, if they aren't able to read, for everyone to see that we are human beings, right? That we don't see our faults and failures first, that they see who they are in the image of their creator. And so that we all are on an even playing ground as far as that. And my hope with the book is that it brings more unity between a culture that seems to be, especially in America, seems to be divided today in a lot of different ways. And I hope that this brings more unity throughout the facets of community and neighborhood and school and sports, and just throughout all the different types of areas. And not only that, my hope is that a lesson is taught that painful situations aren't the worst thing that can happen to you, or it doesn't always have to end bad, and that painful situations can also prepare you for your purpose in life. Painful situations can also just develop you in a way that gives you a tougher outer shell, but also that softer inside to be able to want to help others on the other side of something, of a different issue, or maybe the same issue, and be able to tell this story, and maybe it helps someone else who have gone through the same situation. So my hope is to reach and touch many different facets of life, but from a grassroots basis of to look at each other and look at your neighbor and love what you see, and look at yourself and love what you see. Is starting with that, because no one can love other people correctly or truthfully if they don't love themselves first. A lot of times, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, or you don't love yourself, people will lash out or they project on other people. And so that is my hope, is that people will honestly take a look in the mirror, take a self-assessment, and really love what they see, so that it rubs off on other people, so that they can love their neighbor as they love themselves. And then when it comes to a series, I don't know. I do have to talk with Tyndale. It could possibly be that way. I have definitely been bitten by the writing bug, and I haven't stopped. So there could be some more books on the way.
Does writing come easy?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't come easy. If you want to do something great in life, or do something that is beyond or above average, it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some dedication. and some discipline to be able to do it. And I'm blessed enough to have had athletics and football teach me that, because you have to have a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work to reach professional athletics. And now that I'm retired from football, I've been able to take the same approach in a way that will grasp the attention and the imagination, but then also grasp the heart, so that people really know that it's not just a cute book that teaches a valuable lesson, but really it's a heart mission to transform the heart to love people as we love ourselves.
What was your daughter's response to the book, especially after she saw it? As Trish shared the cover, it's a beautifully illustrated book, and like I said, the story covers everything. It's simple, but it's very, and when I say that, meaning there's content in there, but it's a very easy to understandable to read, and it's just very simple and beautiful. What was her response to your work?
It's almost hard to explain, to see the look on her face when the first hard copies, I brought them home, and for her to open the book and see one of the characters that looks like her, and so that she can identify with that as well, but also to have her name on there with me on the inside is really cool. So her face lit up, and she was super excited about it, and she couldn't stop talking about it. I mean, this is something that my daughter will never forget, that we did this book together, and that her name is on the inside, and that is dedicated to her, so that she will love her beautiful curly hair and go out and share that with the world.
This might actually inspire her to write. You never know.
Absolutely. You never know how that works out. When the seed is planted and it gets watered in different ways, you never know how that will turn out. And as a parent and as a father, my best and greatest joy is just to encourage her and guide her along the way, whichever way that takes her.
Oh. Hopefully you dedicated or donated several of these copies to the library at that school.
I've been telling her to, tell the librarians about it, and tell we have a great relationship with the school, so we're definitely gonna probably gonna do a book signing up there or something.
That would be nice.
Event to share the book with everybody.
Oh, that'll be amazing. That will be so much fun. That literally brings tears to my eyes. You saying that about your daughter and how much that meant to her. I can completely understand, especially when she was bullied or in a situation where she was made to feel less than. And then something like this comes out. I mean, hello, Matt, you are an NFL legend, and they're still picking on your daughter, y'all. I mean, there's something relatable here. If your daughter's being picked on, everybody is going, is potential to be picked on, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a test. It was a test for me. When I was in school, I never really experienced bullying and stuff like that. I guess halfway because I was one of the bigger kids, but then also being athletic and stuff. I was so busy playing sports and stuff. I never really worried about those things. And then when it comes, and you may teach your kids good values and good morals and things like that, but at some point you actually will be called out and like kind of tested on not just teaching those to your kids, but do you believe it, and will you act on those in a correct way? And before this book was even written, I'd always talk to my daughter about how beautiful her hair was, how people wish they could have hair like hers, and it's very unique how her hair is. Me and my wife have always poured into her to encourage her to love what she sees in the mirror. And even in this situation, it was called to test, where even though we were pouring into her and doing all that, it still affected her in a way where, as a dad and as a husband and a father, I had to step in and really make this negative into a positive. And, the Lord blessed me enough to be able to have Tyndale pick it up, because it was in my phone for like 3 or 4 years before, I even got a chance to show it to any publisher. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this actually happened to her several years ago then. This wasn't a recent thing.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. It sat in my phone for about 3 of those years. And as soon as I was connected actually by an actual really good author whose name is Esau McCauley, who goes to church with me, he introduced me to Tyndale. And that's how me and Tyndale got hooked up with the My Hair Can book.
Oh, we've worked with Tyndall many, many, many years. They're a great group of people. I'm very thankful to have them as a client of mine. And I'm thankful because they introduced me to all kinds of amazing authors and content like yours. So I was wondering if you had a mentor or somebody that really led you down this path, because I think authors do and writers have a hard time connecting with publishers. And so you did have a friend that kind of walked you in, even as big as you are and as well known as you are, you still needed somebody to say, hey, here's who you go talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. I needed encouragement too. He definitely did that. I just mentioned it in conversation. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta connect you with Tyndale and Tyndale
Oh,
kids, and we'll see." And that's often how things do happen. I'm grateful for that opportunity. And we just want to make the most of it.
I don't believe in coincidence. I call them God incidences.
Yes.
It's a God incident, not a coincidence. So that's amazing. So you also have a foundation, right?
Yes, I also have the What's Your Forte Foundation that I started in 2014, and its main focus is to for violence prevention through ways of providing resources towards the equitable advancement of young people and youth and families, basically. So we want to keep people out of the streets and keep them out of selling drugs and gun violence, but by the way of giving them something tangible that they can hold on to, a skill, a learned experience, things like that, where they will be able to support themselves or better their lives because they have something actually to look forward to and to do. And so I did that. And I called it What's Your Forte because I know every kid and young person and adult, everybody doesn't like sports. And so I don't want to force or pigeonhole everybody into thinking that just because I played sports that I only want to deal with athletes. But I want to engage kids that might want to be chiropractors or physical therapists or, equestrian
Or plumbers,
management, plumbers,
Yes. All
whatever
the trades.
whatever it
right?
may
There's
be,
trade
you know.
school.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just to expose them to a lot of different areas in life that they may have never been in contact with. And you never know, it may spark their passion.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
said that you went to graduated from Tulane, is that correct?
I did. I did.
Okay. What did you study while you were there? What is your degree in?
I went to the business school, the A.B. Freeman Business School. I majored in finance.
Okay. Okay. So is your now that you're not playing football and I guess now you're becoming an author, are there any other avenues that you're looking to get involved with or
I've been in the entrepreneurial area, which is scary because obviously you have to bet on yourself in that way. But I have a clothing line that I've just started that is an athletic brand that's for, obviously people who want to have an active lifestyle, working out and taking care of your body. It's called Workhorse 22 Apparel. And the men's is already launched, but the women's clothing is coming out really soon. So I'm doing an apparel brand that is predicated on even the logo it looks like a chess piece of a rook, which is a horse. And when I played, the nickname they gave me was Workhorse. And so if you look up the definition of a workhorse is something that just is consistent. It does very hard work and it's consistent in all times. It's not up and down or you know what you're going to get. And that was the basis of my career, 10 years long. And I was very consistent throughout the career. So when it comes to life, some people play checkers, some people have strategic moves, and some people play chess. And that was kind of the premise of, building that brand of Workhorse Athletics or Workhorse Apparel.
I noticed that you did include some Bible verse in the story, the book that you
Yeah.
wrote in. So apparently, I believe that you're a Christian, and it's how strong is your faith? It sounds like it does permeate much of what you do. How
Absolutely.
does that play
Yeah,
a part in
I'm,
who you are?
I'm involved in, I work in ministry as well, pro athletics. I do a lot of ministry with NFL players, NHL, and MLB through an organization called Pro Athletes Outreach, which started 50 plus years ago in the locker room of one of the football teams as a Bible study, but it's a full ministry. And
That's
what they
amazing.
do is guide and impart wisdom on the young people who enter into a area of life where you're young they've given you a lot of money and you have access to a lot of different temptations at the tip of your fingers, especially for the young men. And so what has drawn me to ministry in that area is because after retirement from pro sports, particularly the statistics in football are really bad for divorce and going broke. 2 to 3 years after retirement, 80 to 85% are broke, and same percentage for divorce. And I hate seeing that from my colleagues, from former opponents and former teammates. And so I want to be there to be able to provide an example of how can we transition out of the sport without making the sport our identity, but our identity being rooted in Christ so that we really know our God-given purpose that will drive us beyond when we retire from football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever.
That's amazing. That's great. I love hearing that. So does that mean that your clothing line is going to be on the modest end, I assume?
But yeah, I mean, when you come to workout clothes, there is.
I know some can be crazy.
Yeah. But I go for the quality of it, not just the style. Some people just go for style and, the crazy looks and all that stuff. I'd rather just, like I said, be consistent on a consistent basis where it looks good, but it also feels great on you. And when you're working out and you're sweating and all that stuff, you really want to be comfortable because your workout is pretty much uncomfortable. That's why people don't like to work out.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, what a fascinating career you are creating, Matt. I think that your kids have to be looking at you going, wow, he's not just a football player. He is definitely moving into all these crazy, fun, interesting, unexpected places of like writing children's books. Who would have ever thought? I mean, when you were growing up, did you ever think you were going to be writing a book?
Absolutely not. In English class, I used to finish my homework really fast and then practice autographs. So I definitely think I would be an author. But that is a testament to the Bible and God's word. He says, "I have not seen, ear has not heard, neither has it entered into the mind of man what the Lord has prepared for us." So I definitely wasn't thinking of anything in this area, but it is so fun when the Lord surprises you with his grace and his opportunities to glorify him. And that's what this book is all about.
You always know what's going on. What do you enjoy about writing? It's obviously, again, it's a different experience for you. What do you enjoy about writing?
It is definitely a therapeutic way of getting something that is out. So I enjoy when I write, whatever I'm mulling over in my mind or whatever's in my heart, it really comes out. And if you just hold that in, sometimes there's no way to express that. But to be able to, so writing does allow me to express that kind of creative ability that is different than playing sports, but also in the creativeness, be able to express something that is on your heart and on your mind.
And then with your working with the illustrator, I guess, what type of a collaborative experience was that? Because again, the illustrations are really nice. I love all the different hairstyles, and it's not only just African American hairstyles, it's just you have all different hairstyles. What was that type of process working with her to have your vision brought to what we see in this book?
Tyndale is to give the props to for that, because they made that process so seamless and so easy that all I asked was that, hey, I would love for it to be a female from that point of view to really encapsulate the hair and texture and different styles in the artistry, but then also an African American, a black female, to be able to, like one of the pages says, my hair has roots from many places under the sun.
It's beautiful.
So to encapsulate the ancestry part of our heritage as Black people and Black and brown people that goes all the way back to Africa with Bantu knots and twists and curls and locks, and so the many different styles of your hair that it could be. And so I relayed that message to them, and they came with a few different artists, and Sophia's illustration of some of her former work just stuck out so plainly that it was so easy. I was like, yep, she's the one.
She's the one. And I do like fact too, like you said, a lot of the hairstyles that we've seen here, if you look in the past, like 5 to 10 years, maybe 5 to 15 years, that these are hairstyles that we're seeing again now. And a lot of people think that these are all new. And it's a chance for them to see that these are not really new hairstyles. They've always been around. It's just that now they're getting more, I guess, people are seeing it. They're seeing more people being more comfortable wearing their hair naturally and seeing all the different ways that you can do it. And it is beautiful. So I like that too, that I get a chance to get a little bit of history in there as well. So
yeah.
Jennifer, has Marnina seen it?
yeah, she might. In fact, my daughter, her hair is in here somewhere too. As you see, I don't have a lot that I work with. I keep mine short just for maintenance issues, but still it is a hair. I did see my hairstyle in here. So, but I'm just saying, and as you said, that we all different hairstyles. Again, I think that's beautiful, because that's what I'm saying with the variety of what we see here. I see every single hairstyle that especially the ones that a lot of children will see today. And then they get a chance to see, again, the beauty, the beaded hair braids of beads in it, and just straight hair that's full, and just combination. Love it. I really do.
It was really good.
I mean, and that's the part even at the, I think the author's note in the back of the book where I was, drawn in and metaphorically, or an analogy of how hair comes in so many different shapes, sizes, and textures and colors, same as people. Like, we all are just so diverse and different, but at the same time, we're uniquely made by God in that aspect. So to embrace and love everything that is different about you really shows that you trust God and that you love what your Creator has made, because we're all created in His likeness and image, but also we're so vastly different. And it's okay. It's okay to be different. We're all called to be different, actually,
That's right.
I do not like that full circle that you did, because it does, again, it is a book of hair, but you're showing how just the person as a whole, and they're not limited, because you said that the hair does not define everything that they are. It's a part of what defines them. And I love that is something that you're giving consideration to, the full person, and encouraging others. Looking at that with your daughter going through the experience that she did of getting bullied, do you have any comments or maybe some words of wisdom to share with parents who have children who are experiencing bullying, and then also a word to the parents who may know that their child does bully other kids, maybe a way to maybe kind of how they can kind of help their child be less of that type of person, and then even the parents who have children who are experiencing bullying, which unfortunately is something that happens quite often.
Yeah, bullying does happen that way, especially with social media being the way it is today, and not really being able to censor things and what's been being said. But it is a dangerous playground, if you will, when it comes to that. And I would encourage parents to not go with the initial reaction, because my initial I play football for a living, and
I'm sure you want to rip somebody's head off.
Exactly. My job was to, beat people up and run through and be physical every day. And, that would have been my first reaction. But would that have taught my daughter a long-lasting life lesson? Probably not. So to not go off of that initial reaction, but to really humble ourselves and take into consideration what that other child may be going through, because for the other parent that may know that their child is doing that to other kids, there's some kind of root issue that is bringing about a fruit of bullying others, where something's got to be going on with him or her to lash out, to project on other kids that stuff. And so on both sides, getting to the root issue and to understand that from a parent's point of view, and then guiding them in a way that shows them the truth that, hey, even though you may have gotten picked on because this is different, everybody has differences. Or you might be picking on that kid because they're different. Hey, you're different too. You can't do this like that person does it, or as good as this one. You're not going to be the best at everything. So to really show the even playing field of, humanity, and where we're all created by a creator, our God, where, hey, so we can say, there's no hierarchy, there's no you're more than, you're less than, so we can draw that even playing field as a parent, but then at the same time to point out, but you are special. You're not mundane, you're not regular. You have the power, you have the breath of God in your lungs. You're uniquely made, but wonderfully made to do great things. And so if you look at it that way, every one of you are special. So that means you're special, you're unique, you're very, wonderfully made, but so is the other person.
Right.
So we got to treat them just as well as you look and treat and love yourself. And that's that's the root of it. If you don't love yourself, you will abuse other people. And we can't have kids going around doing that to each other.
There's a message in there that the child who's being bullied can also pull from there too. And I think that this book again does address it. It addresses children for one, and then again the message is something that can permeate, it can go through and be applicable to not only children but adults. And I think that that's something that makes it a nice book. So it's one that I think that people should really take the chance, definitely get it for their children, and then take a chance just and kind of read through it themselves and enjoy it.
It's a beautiful children's book. It's rhythmic. It's kind of got a, sing song, rhyming kind of feel to it. And which children love, children eat that up and they want to hear it over and over and over again. So hopefully that'll be the situation with your book.
I have a 3-year-old. Her name is Nia, my youngest daughter, and she looks at the book, and so she can't read yet, obviously, but she recognizes the rhythm in it.
Yes.
And so when the more we read it, she'll she knows the ending of the sentence.
Yes.
It rhymes, and she gets the flow of the book. So it was intentional to do it that way for beginning readers, to help them in their fluency, but also for the ones who are younger to be able to kind of catch the rhyming cadence of the book.
Which is perfect for a homeschool community and a homeschool audience for you to say that. So I'm so glad you brought that part in, Matt. So I really do appreciate it. We're gonna end here, but I wanna give you all the book again one more time. My Hair Can by Matt Forte. And it just shows you that football players actually have brain jaw and faith. I love hearing your faith. I love hearing you talk about how strong your faith is. I love your shirt, Not Today, Satan. I have really enjoyed having this conversation with you and introducing you to my audience. And I hope you do something, another book along those lines, because I really do think that just like your daughter, somebody else is going to relate to this. Somebody else is going to feel this. Somebody else is going to see themselves in this book and go, he gets me, and really, and to point them to God. I mean, that's really, it's beautiful. I actually love your book. I think you've done a great job. So congratulations on your first book. I think it's going to be popular and wildly successful. Jennifer, did you have anything else you wanted to ask before we hop off?
Again, like I said, I just tell you thank you for taking the time to write the book. And I like your approach to an experience that your daughter had. And I loved how you handled the situation. I love how you do share your faith through the book, and then also how you uplift children, because I think that this is just so important, especially in this day and age, as you mentioned, with social media and just in general, just everyday coin, especially with kids starting back to school. They're kind of back in that mix again, where they do need to be able to reach out to something and get some support or feel like that they're being supported. And I think that your book is a good start for many kids there. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, I wanted to close. Before we close, I want to let everybody know you can find this book. It's actually going to be on pretty much anywhere you buy books. So it's on Amazon. That's where I actually caught that you had already won an award. So congratulations for that. And so you can find it pretty much anywhere books are being sold, I assume, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Tyndall will probably have it. So Tyndall.com will probably have it first as far as having it out there and available to purchase. And I think you can pre-order it now already, right?
It's available for pre-order everywhere. Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. It's pretty much everywhere. Those are the main, kind of sites.
Yeah, the big ones. And then I wanted to, and also, when is it coming out?
September 3rd.
Okay. And I also wanted to bring up your foundation. If people wanted to follow you and get in touch with you or, get to know your foundation, where do they find that?
Yeah, it's whatsyourfortefoundation.org.
There you go.
And,
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Matt. We really
you.
enjoyed getting to know you and we appreciate your book, and we are looking forward to seeing and following your career and seeing how you go.
Absolutely. Thanks, Trish. And it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. And it's awesome that you guys highlight stories like this. I feel honored to be on the podcast and to be able to share with your community. So I want to thank you for this opportunity as well.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, we will have another homeschool conversation soon. So be sure to check back with us. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to our homeschool conversation today. If you like what you heard, please share our podcast and website with your homeschooling friends. Join us next week as we share more homeschool tips and sanity savers, peppered with lots of laughter while we encourage each other on this homeschool journey. This has been a production of Hip Homeschool Moms.